I'm going to give you 3 trades the Chicago Bulls could make that could move Coby White. Let's talk about it, starting now. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. So as reported today, we've heard a lot of stuff coming out. We talked about Zach LaVine possibly getting getting re-signed on the Daily Show. But the thing that we didn't get into as deep of depth in, we did touch on it though, but talking about 3 trades that could be made for Coby White. And it's because I hadn't really looked at some trades for Coby White because I was waiting to see kind of what was going to happen, whether they were going to move him, whether that was going to be confirmed, all that stuff, right? So here's some trades that I thought fit best for Coby White and that could benefit both teams in the situation. Here's trade number 1. Now, number 1 for me is more of a trade that you make if you feel like you're going to end up moving on from Vooch and you feel like you can move away from him. But I felt like Coby White in the 18th out to Houston for Christian Wood would be a good combination. You get Christian Wood in here along with Patrick Williams. You have that tandem in your front court. You probably have to add another player in there or something else in there to make the money work on that because Christian Wood does make more money. Coby White coming in at about $7-ish million. Christian Wood sitting at about 13+ million on his contract right now. But when you talk about it, right, you want to send Coby White to a team that essentially is going to be able to use his needs and is in that developing process. The Houston Rockets are absolutely in the developing process. I mean, when you look at it, right, it depends on who you talk to. If you say they need a point guard or they don't need a point guard, because you feel like when you watch Kevin Porter Jr., he's not really in his natural position. He's not somebody who feels fluent at that position, very similar to what we saw from Coby White. But at a minimum, right, that is a younger team that is willing to take a chance on possibly a new young point guard coming in. And it seemed like any point guard with any age coming in, they didn't want to give any run, right? John Wall got no run. Dennis Schroeder got very minimal run with that team. So as you feel like they want to go younger, a 22-year-old being able to come in, and you're sending out Christian Wood, whose time was up and down there as well, right? And so I feel like that would be a benefit for the Houston Rockets when they see Coby White coming in and that 18th pick. They feel like they can add a solid role piece to that team, and you're able to move something. And the Bulls get a player right away that is able to come in and contribute on the court. And the other thing is, you get that mix of Coby White and Jalen Green. It feels like more of a scorer's lineup, more of a attack the front kind of lineup. I'm going downhill no matter what. We're going to get to the bucket kind of lineup. Right, and then you add that on top of that. Maybe you do keep Kevin Porter in there and you bring Coby White off of the bench. With all 3 of them, right, you'd be able to run a pretty decent sized roster. Coby White 6'5", Kevin Porter a bigger guard, you know what I'm saying, Jalen Green being there. You'd be able to run all 3 of them on the court at the same time. They're able to get out after you, and yeah, you might be a little bit undersized, but the speed, Coby White's still fast as heck, right? Like, he came out, we were nicknaming him Sonic, all that stuff, right? Like, he's still fast as heck. And so you're talking about Jalen Green, Kevin Porter, Coby White. That's a fast lineup. That's a young lineup. It's a lineup that I think the Rockets would be intrigued by, and they move off of Christian Wood, who's an older player that they probably don't feel is going to be a part of this team when this team finally does have its big push of success. And along with that 18th pick, right, so they're able to get another young piece in there as well. So I feel like that would be a very interesting move for the Chicago Bulls. I feel like it'd be a great trade for both sides, right? And Coby White finally gets the opportunity to prove that he's more than what you saw here on the Chicago Bulls with him. Plus, adds a little bit of shooting to him as well. Now, before I continue with the video, I do want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below. What are some of your trades that you think would be best for Coby White? I'll be down there talking with you as well. Let me know in the comments below. Now, my second trade option has to do with the Knicks, and it's because of something we said yesterday, right? They need to figure out how to get some guards in the building. Coby White goes to the Knicks. He's still got 1 year left on his deal. I think this is an opportunity for the Bulls to kind of flip-flop the mistake that a lot of people think that Garpax made and go get Cam Reddish. Coby White, Cam Reddish on similar deals, making similar money. And so you're able to basically do a 1-for-1 swap. Bulls can still hold on to their 18th pick. Knicks get an opportunity to look at a player that they probably feel they need at the guard position, somebody who can handle the ball, who can shoot. Coby White definitely improved in his ability to see the floor this season. And so if the Bulls are actively shopping Coby White, right, I think the Knicks would be one of the teams that would want to be on that phone call, because we said it yesterday. It's a team of forwards. You got to get some guards in there. You got to get some guys that can knock down some shots. Yes, you do have Evan Fournier, who was the king of being up and down. But if you get Coby White in there, maybe Coby White finally is able to figure it out, because you'll probably see him find his way into that starting role, just like every guard has in that building. And maybe he's able to get a little more consistency there. Whereas Cam Reddish wasn't even getting run, wasn't even getting ticked, wasn't even getting looked at. And they traded for Cam Reddish. And so I think that might be a situation where the Bulls are able to get Cam Reddish in here. Now Cam Reddish, listen, has been up and down just as well. But again, you're kind of doing a lateral move there. You're doing a 1-for-1. You're hoping that you can get more out of Cam Reddish than the other teams were by giving them more consistent minutes. And they're hoping that they can get more out of Coby White by giving him possibly starters minutes if that's what it takes, or even just a consistent roll off of the bench for Coby White. And so I feel like that will be a good swap for both teams, and especially with how many bigs there are on that team, right? Coby White missing 3-pointers doesn't hurt you as much, because you're able to go down there and get the rebound. You're able to come away with a lot more opportunities to get the ball back on a second chance opportunity and put that ball up. So I think that it benefits both teams in that situation. I would like to see probably more so that move get done, because the Bulls in that situation, we hold on to that 18th pick. I do think there are a lot of really good role players in this draft that you can go after, and so I don't want to see the Bulls just get rid of the pick just to get rid of the pick, right? I think you could go get an EJ Liddell. You can go get a possibly a Tari Eason if he continues to fall, although I see him going back up in these mock drafts. But he's somebody that I really thought was interesting, and I feel like, listen, at a minimum, right, it's pretty much a 1-for-1. You sit there, you look at it, you say it didn't work, you cut bait with it at the end of the year. We're not out anything, but if it does work, you've got a really good shooter in Cam Reddish that you can pair with Ayo Dosunmu moving forward. Now, the third move here for me, and yeah, you got to make a little bit of the money work, but you can live with it, right? The third move here for me is we want to win right now. We feel like we have something on the books right now that can be a successful team, and so we want to add some nice veteran pieces to it. Hold on to this pick, but maybe we do a swap here, because you don't know what's going to go on out in Brooklyn, and they might even be in a rebuild situation depending on what Kyrie Irving does, what Kevin Durant wants to do midseason. So this could be a move that maybe doesn't happen at the beginning of the season, but you could see happen midway through the season where they're trying to move on from some pieces. For me, go get Seth Curry. I've wanted Seth Curry in a Bulls jersey forever. Yes, he is 10 years older, but I know what Seth Curry is going to give me. He's going to give me great three-point shooting. He's going to be a guy that can lock in. He's going to be a guy that you can put out there at the starting point guard position if need be. He's going to be a guy that you can put out there at the starting two guard position. He's going to be a guy that if he comes off of the bench, he's going to give you great production, and he's going to give you consistent shooting from the three. Why not go get shooting from the best family in the world when it comes to shooting, right? So Seth Curry to me, and yes, I understand he's 32 years old. He's going to be older. He's an unrestricted free agent next season. That's the reason for it, though, right? If you don't like the deal, you cut bait with it. You move on from it. He's a one-year rental. If you like Seth Curry, you feel like he's going to be a vet that can stick around a long time, which I'll tell you this, Seth Curry's nowhere near done in this NBA, right? Like, he's a shooter. He's going to be able to play till he's like 37, 38 years old. He shoots. Now he can do a lot of other things on that, but at a minimum, right, he can be a shooter. And so I feel like if you're going to have try and figure out that shooting position, and I can get 4 years of Seth Curry. Now I might have to re-up his contract, but guess what? That could even be saving me money in that situation. I think he gives you a more sure player at that position. Now this does depend on whether Brooklyn's actually going to be in the rebuild, right? Like I don't know if that's going to happen. There's a lot of question marks around what Kyrie Irving is going to bring to that team, but at a minimum, right, I feel like Seth Curry, when he was in Philly, he started getting himself together, started rolling, started feeling comfortable in that position, and the Bulls and the trade happens to the Nets. Never got comfortable, never was really healthy on that side, and so Brooklyn might even look at him as like, yeah, he's a nice piece, but he's a piece that can be moved. If I want to go with a piece here, I'd rather go with this young piece that maybe we can develop into something and mix with a Cam Thomas and a Bruce Brown as we keep this thing moving, because they might be in a position where they're going to have to reset their entire team. So I would see if that's a possibility at all. To me, that would be, I'm gonna be honest with you, like for where this team is right now, that's the ideal trade. I think you still can hold on to the 18th pick in that situation as well, right? I don't think that it will require that to get Seth Curry, because I think they're thinking now, like, we want to win now, but also these guys might up and decide we're up out of here, bro. So we're going to need something for the future. That could be cause them to look and say, hey, let's take a flyer year on a Coby White. Let's pair him with one of the greatest shooters of all time in Kevin Durant, and let's see if we can get something out of him where we can re-sign him, move forward, and now we've got a nice, at a minimum, point guard piece. Maybe he does work himself into a point guard there, right? There's a flyer deal there to be made. Maybe he works himself into a point guard to where he's a scoring point and just not a, not a facilitating point like he is. I said it on Locked On. He's a kind of point guard. I'm gonna go get this point, and that's something that Brooklyn needed a lot last season and they just didn't have. So I think that will be another good move for the Brooklyn Nets. But as always, man, I want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. What deals do you see the Chicago Bulls making for Coby White? Is there a trade package that you like, or are you still like, nah, I'm keeping Coby White, bro? I'm not rocking with this at all. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bulls content. Click the links on the screen or check the links in the description below. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.